I'll use Waverly. So he was rocking sideways, like from left to right, like, you know, like this. Here's Waverly. Oh, and I meant to show, sorry. I wanted to show this. See those two cement lines? It looks like a summit, like there's only one on this side. They had to redo this side. So there's one summit or mountain peak, and there's two summits or mountain peaks on this side. I had to throw that in really quick because there's a couple blocks that have special markings on their sort of corner ramp, and I wondered, like, why are some blocks marked off or have a certain design as opposed to others? So I don't know if they're privately owned or what, but anyway, this gentleman was rocking back and forth, you know, and there's these big, you know, state troopers or whatever behind him with their big hats. And I wondered if he was trying to protect himself from people who take over. And what I mean by that is, if someone's in the public eye this way and they're speaking on national TV, people will try to take over because they want their voice to come through. They want, try to switch it up here. I can't do it, but all of a sudden he might say something he personally wouldn't say based on his own beliefs about the situation at hand. And, you know, once someone grabs hold, you know, they're around forever. They're in your thought bubble. They're in your aura. They're in your sphere. And they may have you say or do things that you don't want to, that you really don't want to say or do, or if you're in an investigation, you may have to. This is what I learned from other people I've talked to, spoken to. See the word choice? Now, anyways, depending on how you say it, talked isn't that bad, but spoken to would sound more formal and more educated. See what I mean? So, anyway, I thought about this in investigations. I was like, what if they don't reveal the whole truth? What if they don't want everything coming out? Because they want to know if people know too much before the incident, if there was something plotted, if there was something planned, if people didn't act on someone earlier, like this kid who was groomed. Why did, you know, if GBI or FBI or whatever, why didn't they take measures, preventative measures, sooner? So anyway, I don't love talking about all the topics and everything in the news, just because, you know, it's ad nauseum, it gets old, you know. I'm saying my opinion and what I've learned in my life. I actually had an experience and was like, whoa, I can't believe I'm trying to do Kundalini 2 in yoga, which is a really difficult pose. And this was in a very small studio, which was heated, and it involves like balancing on your forearms, one knee on one elbow, if you will, and the other leg goes, you try to, with your muscles, your core muscles, and, you know, various other muscles, you want to like raise your back leg, whichever leg is the free leg, because you can do Kundalini 2 on either side. A lot of, I call it morning glory, I don't know if that's what it is. Anyway, all of a sudden, my free leg, which happened to be the right one, which is the one I was trying to get to rise by teetering on my elbows, if you will, and using some strength, flew up into the air. Whoa, I brought myself down really quick, because it wasn't my personal strength doing. I knew my strength, I knew what I was capable of, and no thank you. So I'm just putting it out there, if anyone listened to this much, that particularly kids can be taken over. And, you know, not to scare parents or anything, but all you need is one little hint of the dark side, guns, whatever, and it's possible that someone with a dark agenda could use a young person much more easily than, say, an older person who hopefully has a stronger foundation. and so forth and so on. Anyway, I'm just gonna put it out there. The female who was a shooter in, was it Memphis? I keep having her in like South Carolina, but I think it was Memphis or similar, or Nashville. I can already picture someone who was technically in control of her faculties and brain, because our brains are programmable. And I don't mean to dehumanize people, but there is a tipping point where, especially with younger people, and females can technically be a little bit easier because men tend to have more actual power, actual mojo. I don't mean to negate women. It's just been my experience. I experienced something really weird. It's in conspiracy land. I didn't want to be in conspiracy land, but I was forced there. And I do believe that all you need is one dark-agended person who, I kind of lost my train of thought, but who can very easily take over kids. Like, the woman, the young lady, lesbian or what have you, in Nashville or Memphis, who shot up a private school. I think it was Memphis for some reason. I could already picture it. Maybe there was a slow process of obtaining a gun, or if one was in the home, and then it's like I already know on that day, say it was a Tuesday or whatever, someone pressed the trigger, pressed the button on her life. It's hard to explain. And bloop, you know how we say like people are triggered and maybe they flip out? It's in the same realm, I think. So it turns our justice system on its head in terms of, you know, so many people want to place the blame quickly on, and this is a big deal, so I don't want to negate people who lost their loved ones in any situation, but, and I don't even mean to say but, it's really horrible. He didn't act alone is what I would say, and evil sums it up as the only word available without getting in trouble as a highly public figure of trying to blame people who try to jump in and take over someone. I even saw a plaque one that says, "It's okay if I jump in your bones." I was like, ah, you know, I'm like, no, it isn't, you know, gross. So, I lost a little bit of train of thought there, but point being, it turns our entire justice system on its head in terms of more I would argue right-wingish people, but people who are quick to jump on the one obvious perpetrator. How many people were behind that kid besides the parents and family? Somebody else is in the background pulling strings. They have the movie The Godfather. That's actually accurate, that picture. It's accurate. I'm here to tell you, my leg, when I did Kundalini 2, some invisible force lifted my right leg way up into the air, and right quick, I was like, it freaked me out. I think they were trying to prove something to maybe the instructor